How have the characters changed over the course of time?
Well, I suppose the characters have changed according to how I have changed myself, and according to how my own life has changed. I think I did a lot of little tiny kid things when I was first married and all my children were small. I used to draw the kids in playpens and riding on tricycles and things like that, but I haven't drawn a tricycle in 20 years. It's my whole outlook on life as I've grown older. Unfortunately, I've started to do grandpa jokes. I never thought that I'd get to the point where I start doing grandpa jokes, but that would be, I suppose, how the characters have changed. I don't think the characters are quite as mean as they used to be. Lucy is not as sarcastic and as mean as she used to be, and I think that Charlie Brown maybe has matured a little bit. He's a lot like yourself, as you've done great things. You've matured, I've matured, and I think Charlie Brown is probably not quite the loser that he used to think that he was.
I realize by reading you what a brilliant comic you are. You actually draw takes, and you have to have comedy timing to do what you do in that strip.
I remember once Milt Caniff, who did Terry and the Pirates, and Steve Canyon saying that what he liked about his job, and Milt was very much into the theater, he loved the theater. He liked the fact that he was the director, he was the cameraman, and he was the actor and the writer. He was the whole thing. And I think this is why comic strip artists like this medium so much. We are the boss. We set the stage, we do the acting, the directing, for better or for worse.
I understand that you're a man of many moods. Yeah. And does any of this come out of your own melancholy? Do you write from that part of yourself?
I think most cartoonists would tell you that some of their best work comes when they are feeling quite low. And if I am in a low mood or feeling lonely or something like that, then I think about Charlie Brown, or if I lost something, I can transfer those feelings to Charlie Brown. But then the cartoonist has a knack of making it kind of funny, or at least you hope it's funny. Whereas I feel sorry for the average person then who feels low and then has no outlet to release those emotions and make up for it. So I'm grateful that I have this outlet.
In the same way that Charles Schulz was inspired by such comic strips as Crazy Cat, Captain Easy, and Popeye, many of today's cartoonists have been inspired by Schulz himself. Peanuts has always examined the psychology of human behavior, which influenced Kathy Geisweit to use the art form of the comic strip to focus on the insecurities of modern-day single life.
All of us who are lucky enough to know Charles Schulz call him Sparky. This is a nickname he got when he was little. He was named after Sparkplug the horse in the comic strip Barney Google. I think that everybody who does a comic strip today owes a real debt of gratitude to Sparky. I know for myself, reading his work over the years really taught me that it was okay to express real insecurities on paper, get my vulnerabilities out on paper, for my case, go on some hideous date and come home and, write it out in pictures. Even today, when I call Sparky on the phone, or sometimes Sparky will call me, and he will be saying, I'm sitting in front of a blank piece of paper. How am I ever going to think of another idea? It's sort of the most wonderful thing to hear from somebody who's been so brilliant for 40 years in a row, to know that every day he still struggles, with the exact same piece of paper that I do and that everybody does. And I think that's about as inspiring as anything.